the New York Knicks. I'm back in the New York groove. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts just like winter. New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go, New York, go, New York, go!
Hey everybody, it's the New York Knicks podcast, episode 305. How you doing, Mark?
I'm pissed off, Jay.
Why are you pissed off?
The Knicks made a terrible error, and now the season's lost.
Well, that seems pretty extreme.
Are you kidding me? You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Are you insane? You do not know what I'm talking about. This was like huge information. It basically said the Knicks were giving up on the season. Are you for real, Jay?
They waived Ricky Lito?
No, I mean, who gives a crap about it? If they said Ricky Lito was buried at the bottom of Madison Square Garden, I would have said, oh, okay. It would be like a barely interruption in my day.
They announced they're bringing Darian Atkins to training camp?
I don't even know who that is. So someone has not been invited to Knicks training camp. Someone that was on the team last year and was the guy who shut down LeBron.
Travis Ware.
He has not been invited to training camp. How can you not invite Travis Ware? You remember in Game 3, the height of our season when we beat Cleveland, and he shut down LeBron? Season's over. Apparently we have no interest in guarding LeBron this year.
That's sad news.
Yeah. I think Travis Ware was quoted as saying that he will now go be working at Arby's as assistant manager. Do you think he will play in the NBA ever again?
I
feel like there's so many guys the Knicks have had in the last couple of years where their only chance to play in the NBA was with the Knicks, and they'll never play in the NBA again.
There's been a lot. The Knicks have had starters who've been out of the NBA in a year.
Or they've had starters where Toronto signed for $21 million over 3 years and realized really fast that he was more likely going to be the towel boy than a player. Anyway, the Knicks have finished their roster.
That's it. They have 15 guys all locked in. Some of them are partial guarantees. That's why they asked Wesley Saunders and Darian Atkins to training camp.
Right. And it's always you always have to have a couple extra guys just in case they'll surprise you in camp or something.
Right.
The Knicks apparently don't like me, as all the guys they fill the roster with to basically complete the roster are names I can't pronounce. So the roster is now filled with Tanisha Akadapa Greek Salad, Kevin Seraphin.
That was pretty easy. I think you can handle that one.
Yeah, I think, and Sasha Vujacic. Yeah, that's a phonetic name.
Super excited. We needed another guard, so we got one who hasn't played in the NBA in 4 years.
It hasn't been that long, has it?
2011.
No, really?
Pretty sure.
I came up with his wife. That's the first thing that came up. I went to look at his stats, and it's Google suggested looking at his wife, and I'm like, do I want to look at his stats now and do the show, or look at his wife? Speaking of his stats, though, he has not been in the league for that long. Obviously, you're probably right. He's only 31. Mm-hmm. He's 6'7", which makes him a little tall for a guard. I mean, not tall for a guard, but wow.
Yes,
we need guards really badly.
Yes, I mean, if you're going to get a guard, you might as well get one who hasn't played in years.
Yeah, I know I've been talking about this a little bit on the show. Like, we've been talking about the fact that the guards, there aren't many of them. There really aren't many guards in this team.
Okay, I was wrong. He played 2 games in 2014.
Oh, for the Clippers, yeah.
But before that, he hadn't played since 2011.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if we go to the per 36 minutes for those 2 games, he actually averaged 18 points a game.
Okay,
and
that's good.
Actually, there's a new. I have a new stat also to go along with per 36. It's per 82. So we take your stats and pretend you played an entire season.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically in 2013-14, he averaged 18 points a game.
So that's almost an all-star season.
Wait, there's more. So he averaged 18 points a game, but only played 10 minutes a game.
No.
Well, I'm saying in those 10 minutes, he scored 18 points.
He only played 10 minutes a game per 36 minutes?
Per 36 minutes, per 82. So if you average his stats out based on the new per 36 per 82 stats, in 10 minutes of playing time, this dude scored 18 points a game.
But per 36 minutes, he averaged 0 assists.
True, but in only 2 games played, he scored 18 points times 82.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah, and he averaged like almost 11 rebounds a game.
Mm-hmm.
3.6 steals. Actually, and also I have another stat. If you do per 36, per 82, per 20, so you assume these stats are an entire stats for a 20-year career, he's actually going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. You've changed my mind on this signing.
Yeah, if you advance the stats enough, you go super advanced stats, you find out that some of these guys are Hall of Famers.
We've started a new movement, Super Advanced Stats, Knicks podcast exclusive.
So basically, we just signed for very little money a future current Hall of Famer.
All right, I'm excited.
Yeah, so there you go. So stop complaining. So the Travis Ware debacle is so who's going to guard LeBron now? Who's going to shut him down?
Greek salad.
Greek salad. And we also. So what do you think about Seraphin? We needed another guy that's not going to get playing time at the forward position / center.
We have a lot of forwards, but I remember last year saying we were log jammed at certain positions, and then everyone got injured. So
yeah, we had 4 shooting guards and no one played.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about having too many players playing one position because the Knicks seem to get decimated halfway through the season anyway.
So when Calderon goes down in Game 2 with a minor ankle injury requiring him to never play basketball again, we will have what?
Jerian Grant.
We have Grant.
Galloway.
Point guard. We have Galloway.
Vujacic.
And?
Aflalo.
Aflalo.
So let's just really hope that Grant is very good.
I feel like this is something we're going to keep saying over. Like, why did the Knicks sign more guards? Why didn't they sign more guards? Anyway, did you know Carmelo lit Zinger up?
No, I did not.
Porzingis and Melo played a little ball. I think they had a shooting contest, a couple of them, and Zinger was very unhappy that Melo beat him.
Good. I like that attitude.
Yeah.
He's got
I'm
some
surprised
fight
that
now.
Melo could. Well, I guess Melo's a very good shooter also. But I thought Zinger was supposed to be this amazing elite shooter.
It's one game sample size.
He was sold to me as a 3-point threat. I have yet to see this yet, Jay.
I know.
I think he should have come. I'm in the suburbs now. I can put a basketball net up in my driveway. He should come here and shoot threes. He should prove it to me on my home court.
We need an agent, a casting agent, to get these guys to do that.
Yes. What else is going on? So there's not much.
We have a Where Are They Now?
Where are they now, Jay?
Michael Sweetney.
Oh. Out of Syracuse?
That was I believe so. That was the Knicks 2003 lottery pick.
Yes. Big time lottery pick. He was almost as good as Travis Ware. Go on.
Was that our last lottery pick? Oh, no, Jordan Hill was. But
Hill.
Second to last lottery pick.
And
he is now 320 pounds. And
I'm guessing that was above his playing weight.
Slightly, yes. This isn't all muscle.
Okay. I thought maybe he was like taking steroids. Go on.
He is competing in a tournament in an effort to improve his health.
What kind of tournament? Is he doing the Fitbit challenge?
It's basketball. He's only 6'8", so 320 is not good.
And what height is 320 okay?
I think Shaq was 320.
Shaq was gigantic. Like, beyond the fact that he was like super muscular.
Yeah. So if you look like Shaq, 320 is okay.
Yeah, if you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, 320 is probably okay too.
Yeah. So if you're 6'8", that is not okay.
No, I mean, like, what's like an average? Like, if you were like, you have to be 7'7"?
I think like 7'2", probably 7'3", and that you're gonna end up being really muscular. I mean, Porzingis is like 200 pounds. Anyway, the finals were today. I did not get an update on them. It was on ESPN. We missed a 320-pound Sweetney on TV. We dropped the ball. All right, yeah, we just got cut off. I was saying, Mark, that ESPN showed a 320-pound Sweetney on TV today, and we both missed it.
Really?
Yeah, we dropped the ball.
Why was he on TV?
They showed the game.
Oh, is that $1 million challenge?
Yes.
What exactly is a $1 million challenge?
I don't know. It's a basketball tournament, pickup basketball tournament.
Where they take a former draft bus and add 100 pounds to their body and make them compete?
Yes.
The biggest, like it's the real biggest loser?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be great if we had just a tournament where you only took like former draft bus?
He's trying to make a pro comeback.
Right. Wonderful. I'm excited to see him in the Knicks next year. We have an important ESPN article we wanted to share.
Okay.
Should we get our favorite guest?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Hi, Jay. This is Sir Insider, and I'm working on my accent to sound like myself. Anyway, Jay, Sir Duke Insider here, and why do you keep calling me?
Because you keep coming up with all these amazing articles, and I just want to talk about them.
Which one did you want to complain about this week, Jay?
This week, I wanted to talk about how you're charging to compare basketball players to baseball players.
Yes, my article is called How NBA Greats Compared Recent Baseball Hall of Famers. And so we take NBA Hall of Famers and compare them to baseball Hall of Famers. It is a magical and well-researched piece.
For money.
Yes. Well, everything's for money, Jay. That's why I'm Sir Insider, and you want my product. Do you want to know more about? I'm here to give you a little preview of the article.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
So, which player do you want me to tell you some players that we compared?
Yeah.
Okay. So we compared former baseball great George Brett and NBA legend Dr. J.
Okay. I don't even know George Brett.
George Brett played for the Kansas City Royals and had quite a career. Did you know George Brett was white? Dr. J was not.
That's some edgy comparisons you're doing there.
It is. George Brett was shorter than Dr. J.
So how are they compared?
We did a lot more contrasting than comparing.
Okay.
But we said they both played with balls, though Dr. J used a bigger ball. George Brett, to make the Hall of Fame, did not have to do as much jumping as Dr. J.
Wow. I can't believe you're revealing this information on our show.
Well, we have a lot of very, very good comparisons there. Do you want to hear about another one?
Are you sure? I heard there was only 4.
My staff is producing some more.
Okay.
My staff is working 24/7 to bring out the best to the ESPN audience.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So here in this one is a great one. We compare Major League Baseball Hall of Famer Sandy Koufax, one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
I've even heard of him.
Yes, he's a wonderful. And what basketball player would you want to see compared to?
I don't really care, to be honest.
Pick a Hall of Famer. We may have written an article on whoever you're going to say.
Shaq.
Yes, we have an article comparing Shaq to Sandy Koufax. I'll give you some nuggets from the article that we are in the process of writing right now.
Okay.
Did you know Shaq is not Jewish?
I think I knew that, yeah.
Sandy Koufax is Jewish.
Okay. That's not really a comparison.
Well, it is a comparison. One person is Jewish and one is not Jewish. There is the comparison. That's how it helps explain why one of them is a Hall of Famer in the NBA and one's the Hall of Famer in Major League Baseball.
I don't think I understand this article at all.
So Shaq did not spend a lot of time in synagogue or celebrating Hanukkah.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy Koufax did.
I don't get the point of this article.
We're comparing legends in each sport and trying to compare what made each of them a legend in their sport.
So Koufax was good at baseball because he attended synagogue?
There's more correlation than causation here.
Like?
Sandy Koufax threw a ball, and Shaquille O'Neal caught a ball.
Mm-hmm.
There's, again, something different. Sandy Koufax never had to put a ball in a net.
You know, there's a difference between compare and contrast.
I'm sure I'm not really following you, Jay. Let's try another one. We're working on some other interesting ones. What baseball player would you like to hear about, Jay?
Did you do every baseball player?
We may be writing someone on the spot right now.
Don Mattingly.
He's not a Hall of Famer, Jay. You should really get to know baseball better.
Pete
But
Rose.
Future Hall of Famer, Derek Jeter.
Okay.
And future Hall of Famer, LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
So as it turns out, they are both comparatively going to the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
But Derek Jeter's Hall of Fame is in upstate New York, while LeBron's Hall of Fame is wherever they have the Basketball Hall of Fame.
All right. This is quality stuff.
I've got another one for you. The last one, I can't give too much away from our article.
Right, yeah, you got to sell that stuff.
We're going to compare you to Hall of Famer, Baseball Hall of Famer Babe Ruth, and Basketball Hall of Famer Larry Bird.
Okay, I like this one.
Only one of them does Jay want to sleep with.
You actually wrote that in your article.
Maybe. I don't know. Now I may be ad-libbing a little.
I don't really appreciate you coming on the show to insult me.
I meant that in a. I was talking about. Well, you know which one I'm talking about?
Which what?
The one that you like in a sexual way?
You just said it was Larry Bird.
Oh, it could have been Babe Ruth.
Oh, okay. I see where you went with that.
Yes. Anyway, so I'll tell you the differences between the two of them. Larry Bird had his heyday in the 80s, the 1980s. Babe Ruth in the 1980s was already dead.
Yeah, that is a big difference.
Larry Bird played against black people. Babe Ruth didn't allow black people to play against him.
I still think you don't know the difference between compare and contrast.
Jay, I'm Sir Insider. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Join us next week when we have an article comparing Major League Baseball's baseball and NBA basketball's basketball, how they're different and how they're the same.
Brilliant.
It is. It's $19.95 a month. Anyway, talk to you later. Jay, so we have a bunch of questions. Let's go to them.
Yes.
Shockingly, nothing has happened. Almost nothing has happened, yet we have a lot of questions.
That was a real insider article, by the way, comparing baseball to basketball players.
Yes, it is a real insider article, and it is shocking that I don't have insider, but if anyone wants to go to the article and figure out why the hell it was written, I don't know what you're comparing.
Yeah, why does that exist on this planet?
What's the first one? Shaq and what? And who else? Shaq compared to one of them's Shaq. I know that.
Yeah, it's Shaq and some baseball player. I don't know.
It's like, well, Shaq was tall. He played in a sport.
Oh, Randy Johnson.
How would you compare them?
They were both dominating forces in their heyday. I guarantee that's what it is.
I mean, they really had to be struggling there. Just like, what are we going to write about today, boss? Nothing's going on. We need to write something. We got to get basketball in this some way. Well, why don't we just compare the players? You mean if one like how well could we cross over? How well these baseball players would have done in basketball and baseball? No, let's just compare them in a different way. Write the article. I get if you want to say. I mean, even that's stupid. I hate those articles like, how well would Randy Johnson have played point guard in the NBA? Let's explore.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
I also think my comment that there was only 4 comparisons, I think that's true. I think they only did 4.
Because they couldn't like write anymore and like charge people for more. They couldn't like write anymore with a straight face.
Yeah, they started feeling guilty after the 4th one.
You have to think some guy just like, Bob, you're late to work for a 3rd time this year. You are writing the dumbest article of the year.
You're putting your name on that. You're taking it. You're owning it.
You will answer questions from fans why you really think this article made any sense at all.
What was the other thing? Oh, yeah, we were supposed to do a live show today. We are having, surprise, technical difficulties.
Jay bought the software with the money he donated, but he hasn't figured out how to register the software, the registration code to actually get the software to work. So we're getting there.
It's pending. It's happening, folks. We didn't just take your money.
We're doing these live shows that I assume you guys want to see since you donated money. And we apologize for not having them already. But someone who does all the computer stuff and knows everything about computers screwed this up, Jay.
They're like, plug in your registration code that you spent money for. So I'm like, all right, here's the registration code. They're like, yeah, we don't recognize that code. I'm like, well, that's the only one you gave me.
Do you know the guy who made the program is a New Jersey Net fan or New York Net fan?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So,
did you hear that Bargs said he would have played for the Nets for free this year?
Well, that probably makes the Nets feel great that they actually paid money.
I'm pretty sure the rest of the league would pay to make sure that they play on their team.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Flying Solo on Tour at NY Knicks Podcast on Twitter. Flying Solo asks, how long will it take the Knicks to trade Melo?
I don't think Melo's going to be traded.
He's only getting traded if he demands a trade.
I don't see him getting. I think the ideal time would be. We don't have a draft pick this year, so it seems kind of silly to trade him. It seems like you should trade him in the offseason. That's the only time it's going to make any sense.
And again, he has a no trade clause, so it's only happening if he demands it.
Right. I feel like the only way it works out is Melo has a good year, shows he's healthy, then he agrees to be traded somewhere because he doesn't think we're going to win fast enough.
Do you think?
And also the contract at that point is only a 3-year deal, so people will be a little more up for that.
Well, what do you think if the season's just a complete debacle? Like the Knicks start out like 1-12.
We're at the trading deadline where it was bad last year.
Yeah. Do you think then he asks for a trade?
Yeah, I think so. I think at that point, he's up for it. He's like, yeah.
Because there'll be a number of teams that would want him.
Like every time Phil asks him anything, he goes, yes, I want to be traded. So, Melo, do you want a turkey? Yes, I want to be traded. Melo, do you did you check out that girl and row? Yes, I want to be traded.
Yeah.
No, you have to wait till I finish the question.
I mean, like, all right, let's not talk about this too much now, but I could see it happening if the Knicks start off terrible.
I really don't think this team is going to be that terrible. I think this team is going to be probably around 500, give or take maybe a little bit. They have a shot of being a little bit over 500. But I'd really be shocked that they're a terrible team.
Yeah, I know.
That being said, we've already highlighted the fact that they have no guards.
Right, and we were shocked last year that they were that bad.
Yeah, we were surprisingly upbeat last year. We were like, oh, Quincy Acey. How could you not like Quincy Acey? Yeah, so that, I mean, Kyle O'Quinn is not Quincy Acey. So.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Email, nyknickspodcast.
What's going on Instagram?
I only posted on the Brink Instagram this week.
You are a letdown to America.
I know. I'm dropping the ball in every form of social media this week.
Do we get any questions on there?
I will check in a minute.
Pinterest?
We don't have a Pinterest.
Why not, Jay?
Because I don't know what it is.
What's going on in Tumblr? What other form of Oh yeah, Vine. What's our Vine?
Last one I put up was of Summer League. It was of Porzingis.
Okay. Any questions from Vine?
No questions on Vine.
Okay.
So we have email.
Okay.
This one is from Rob. Do you guys want to do a podcast from Royal Sports Comics on Metropolitan Ave in Queens? This way you can be gay about comics and sports.
Ooh, the double gayness. Yeah. Sign us up for the homo special.
Let's see. New York Triangle Talks has some cool YouTube videos. We will put a link on our Facebook group of that. That wasn't really a question. Kazim writes, "Hey guys, before I ask my question, I just wanted to say I got 3 more people who started listening to your show and they fell in love with it. It's amazing what happens when you're trashed on a Friday night with some friends and somehow you'll end up listening to a Knicks podcast and laughing hysterically, and now they have listened to like 3 episodes and fell in love with you guys. So I hope that makes you guys a little bit happier." It does.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked anyone would say, like, we're drinking, but listen to the Knicks podcast. That's awesome.
I do find that awesome.
Yes.
Let's see. On to my question. The Knicks still need a solid backup center.
What's the name?
Kazim.
Oh, Kazim. Okay, go on.
Thank you, Kazim. The Knicks still need a solid backup center for Lopez, someone cheap. I know you guys are going to crucify me for this, but hear me out and say we get Andrew Bynum. All right, you're banned from the show. Undownload all the episodes. If he makes a comeback, do you think he's worth the risk? At this point, we really have nothing to lose and nowhere to go from up here. Team Mark is the best team in the league. Sorry, Jay, you're cool as well, but you're like the Pippen to Mark's Jordan.
Oh, yeah. So does that mean, like, I'm going to leave the show, and then Jay's going to be like, oh, this is my chance to sign. Phil, put me in the game the last... Oh.
I'm going to refuse the comment on the game because that wasn't put in.
You'll get a co-host. They'll be like, your co-host has to make the final shot.
The final joke.
Yes. And he's from Europe. Well, I guess Seraphin is our new back. Is he like he's kind of a center?
Yeah, we signed Seraphin.
I don't think Bynum would be the worst idea in the world because it's always like maybe he'll have his comeback and it'll work out.
The thing is, he's got no knees.
I have no knees. Yeah, that's a
problem.
You have to figure, though, if he's making a comeback and looking good, if he looks good enough in practice, you would try him out. You'd give him a chance. It's not like they're going to sign him without seeing it work out and thinking that he actually can play.
Right, but he's not coming back. He's done.
Yeah.
He has no knees.
Who would you rather give a chance to? Bynum or Beasley?
Beasley.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Beasley. I mean,
Beasley's proved he can actually play a game without having his knees explode.
Then again, I mean, like, there's a reason Beasley hasn't worked. He's been given enough chances.
Yeah, no, Beasley's there's definitely a problem there. It's just, Bynum cannot play. Literally cannot play.
Yeah. Can he bowl?
Apparently not bowl either.
Next question.
So thank you, Kazim.
Could you go at a slower pace, Jay? I only have 40 questions on Facebook. We'll go on.
Nicholas writes, I was checking Instagram. We have no questions on Instagram.
What about Pinterest, Jay?
Still don't know what Pinterest is.
What's that other site? Tinder. Any questions on Tinder?
None I could read on the show.
Okay.
Nicholas writes, I look at Knicks and I see a good team, not a great team, and also I see a team that is prepping itself for a good trade. What do you guys think of the Knicks to trade for Markieff Morris or anyone else you would hear possible trades you could think of?
Well, what are you going to give up for Morris? Like, I like him. He's a good player, but I don't think we have a lot of assets we want to trade right now.
Right. I think right now the Knicks have a lot of guys that they want to try out and see what happens. As far as, I don't know if we really answered the backup center question. Kylo Quinn, I believe. Quinn and Seraphin are slated to be the backup. I
think the idea is that we sign a lot of guys that have upside, and we want to see how they work out. And if some of these guys work out, like a guy like Derek Williams. If he starts playing really well, we could trade him, or we just keep him, obviously. But like, it depends on what happens. I think a lot of it comes down to nothing's happening unless some of these guys have like end up playing really well. If they don't end up playing really well, then Melo's the guy's going to be traded.
Exactly.
So, a lot of wait and see, but it should be this. This team looks a lot better than last year's team.
It does. It does. It can't be worse.
It would be really, really tough to be worse. Barring like just a rash of injuries, I think this team would be pretty decent. I mean, decent at best, but developing.
All right, that's it for emails.
Okay, Facebook. Twitter, I don't think I even posted on Twitter, so I forgot to do that.
Yeah, we had that one question.
Steven writes, why are the Raptors so much better than the Knicks? Hashtag we the North. They are actually better, so I have to take that. But they're forced to have they're forced to live in Toronto, so we win.
Also, I feel like they're more like the new Hawks. They're going to get to the first or second round, and they have absolutely no chance of going any further.
It's kind of early to declare them the new Hawks, but
I'm declaring them the new Hawks.
It's really early.
Do you really think they have any chance of getting out of the second round?
Well, doesn't every team in the East have no shot besides LeBron? It's not even say Cleveland.
Well, no, somebody's got to get to the conference finals.
Oh, that's true. I mean, they have a.
No, they don't.
They're like a player or two like the belt. They need one or two more players.
Right. But they're not going to get those players.
Right. Yeah, whatever. I mean, like, look at the East. Like, who's going to the conference finals, though?
Miami.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know. I mean, the team it's not that different than last year. I mean, obviously, you got Bosch back, but they weren't like amazing with Bosch.
And Dragic was injured.
And this team's going to be injured again, also. You have Wade, who's, like, only half working. Bosch just came off a major, what was the blood clots? What do you have?
Yeah, blood clots.
Pretty serious. I mean, he'll come back, but I'd be still worried about him. Dragic was injured half of last year, so it doesn't mean he's going to be healthy this year.
I do not trust Chicago.
No, I don't trust Chicago. I'm just saying there's no obvious team. The Wizards probably are the better team, better of the three.
Yeah, Wizards are.
No one really, not that like getting to the conference finals is winning it all, but no one really blows you away either. That's probably the reason that LeBron has like a cakewalk to the finals, because no one's that good. The Hawks again?
Yeah, LeBron once again is going to have an easy trip to the finals.
Right. But and once again, that's why he's going to go. He's going to been to like 15 finals and have like 3 wins.
Yeah.
Alex writes, hypothetically, James Dolan sells the Knicks to Donald Trump. Reactions, better or worse? That's a good question.
Better.
Why is that, Jay? They both will spend money.
Because Dolan is the worst owner ever.
So anyone would be better.
Literally anybody would be better. I don't think Trump would get as involved because he's a smart businessman and he knows if I know nothing about basketball, I probably shouldn't make basketball moves.
I know nothing about politics, yet I'm running for president. Hypothetically, James Dolan goes back in time and sells the Knicks to Hitler. Better or worse?
I can't believe I'm thinking about this so long.
I don't like his whole Holocaust thing, but I feel like he'd still be a better owner than James Dolan.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, he almost took over the world.
I mean, in fairness, if you're a Ranger fan, you can't say Dolan's the worst owner. They've been pretty good lately.
True.
He has a total hands-off policy with the Rangers.
Hitler was good at motivating people.
We're not going to go through the benefits of Hitler on this Knicks show.
So I'm assuming you'd go with Dolan?
Okay, how's this? James Dolan walks down the street, finds the first homeless man who is passed out on 38th Street, and sells the team for $1 to him.
This is one instance I would probably be in favor of Dolan.
Okay. So you had to think about Hitler, but the homeless guy, no, not a non-starter.
Right.
Well, I mean, Hitler was successful. Just you didn't like what his success was in.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Ali writes, more of a statement, less of a question, but I'm seeing and hearing all of this talk and post about Melo asking for a trade. Not true! Exclamation point times 3. Clyde was asked a question about the moves made, and he responded, wondering if things go bad or don't get better this season, if Melo would ask out or ask to be traded. He's never stated that Melo asked for a trade.
Correct.
The thing is, if Melo gets traded, it doesn't work out well for us because that means the season's bad. If the season's a good season, Melo's not going to want to get traded. And if the season's a bad season, well, who cares? We're just so screwed at that point.
Right. Although it would be nice to be at the receiving end of lots of goodies.
Yes. I mean, I guess the best case would be the Knicks are an improving squad that's around 500. Melo wants to win faster and sees the Bulls go all in to get him, and he's cool with it.
Right.
Ali writes, if Melo never brings a title to New York, how would you look at his time or career in New York and why?
If Sorry.
If Melo doesn't win a title, how does that affect what you say about him as a Knick?
A title would not affect my opinion on him as a Knick.
Are you kidding me? If you mean him winning a title would not affect your opinion?
No, him not winning a title.
Okay, because I was gonna say if he wins the title, I'm gonna have a higher opinion of him.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. No, I'm not gonna.
I still want to trade him after the victory parade down Broadway and 8th Avenue. We're gonna trade that motherfucker.
No, I mean I'm not going to say, oh, this guy had a 40-year-old Jason Kidd as his second best player his entire run on the Knicks, and he didn't win a championship, so he sucks. I'm not going to say that.
No, I mean he's like the way you think about, I guess, like a Bernard King type player, but obviously played a lot longer. He's either way he's going to go down as a very very good Knick.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's going to be a great Knick, he has to elevate, and he doesn't have to win a title, but he has to go somewhere in the playoffs.
Plus, I want to see full effort on defense all the time too.
Okay, well, Jay, I want to see unicorns flat on my ass. Come on. Harry writes, I agree. New theme song. Knicks. Someone I guess was ripping our theme song. In the later questions,
somebody was ripping our theme song.
I agree. I have to find the order.
Okay, well, we'll skip that.
But anyway, I agree. New theme song, Knicks podcast. Be different, be pioneers. I request real H motherfucking S by East NWA. Step it up. And then Greg hashtag straight out of New York. And Harry says, yeah, they need to be creative and more hip to the youth. Like when the Knicks lose, they play Clapton and so on. That is brilliant. People like change, even if it's a 7 sec of a cool song would be nice. Some gangster, SHTY. I don't know how to say that in a cool way.
Shite.
Right? Shite? Is that right?
Sure.
Whatever. Yeah. Sorry. Well, Harry, here's your chance to make mixes for the show and send them to us, and we'll play them as our opening song.
So are they saying that to be creative, we should commit copyright infringement?
Are you already doing that with your own the theme song?
You're allowed to play a couple seconds of a song.
How many seconds? Do you have any idea, Jay?
No
idea. Here's the issue.
No, but I'm using like 2-second clips. It's obviously not going to be long enough.
Here's the thing, Jay. It only becomes an issue for making money. So there you go. Never going to be an issue.
That's true.
What are they going to sue you for the New York Knicks podcast royalties?
I'm like, all right, you guys owe me money.
You could just play the opening song could be Layla by Clapton. Make no sense whatsoever. That'd be our theme song. We'll never get a letter.
True.
Okay, George writes, are you happy with the current signings we have made in the past weeks? How do you think they will help the team? So first off, Greek salad. What do you think?
I'm not as excited about him.
Why not? His brother's so good in Milwaukee, and if his brother's good, he has to be good. See the Smith brothers.
Yeah, he wasn't good in the summer league. He had one good game, and the rest of the time he looked pretty bad.
He plays solid defense, fouls a little too much, and offense is. I guess the thing is the Knicks want to. Do you think he's just going to spend the whole season in D League again?
No, I think this is more like you spent last season in the D League, so now we're giving you a chance.
I think he's going to spend long stretches in the D League again. I think the Knicks just want to make sure they can, I guess, make sure they keep him around.
Right.
Okay. Seraphin, what do you think?
I kind of like that. This is another. Apparently, Washington fans are not happy that he left, and that's always a good sign.
That is a good sign. Supposedly, he's a guy that has, again, one of those guys that has our roster. Just a bunch of guys that have potential, not given a chance in other places.
Yeah, I mean, the nickname of this year's team should be Crapshoot.
I was going to say the New York Potential, but I guess Crapshoot's even better. The New York Roll of the Die.
Yeah.
And what do you think about what's his name? Vujacic. I think you're a huge fan of the signing.
That and the Derek Williams signing I do not like. Although at least the Derek Williams signing has potential. Vucevic has no potential at all. That's just a dumb signing.
He's been playing abroad, obviously in like Europe, I guess.
Yeah.
Has he been good? I mean, maybe he's gotten better.
No, he's not been good.
You have no idea where he's been playing.
No, but I looked at his numbers. I don't know what teams they were, but they were not good numbers.
They were teams in other lands, I believe, and the numbers per. What about?
He got kicked out of 2 teams this year.
What about per 36, per 82, per 20?
Those are okay.
Okay,
but he couldn't stick with 2 different teams in Europe.
I mean, his best days were under Phil, so
yeah, I feel like Phil's like, I remember he was on the Lakers and we won championships, so that's good enough.
I'm surprised it's not like he's like, wait a second, I won a title once. Why don't we sign Earl the Pearl?
Oh, he sucks at 3-point shooting, and I hate 3-point shooting, so perfect.
Do you think he really hates 3-point shooting, or just like? I think he was just commenting on that. Back in my day, we scored baskets the way you're supposed to, not shooting these crazy threes. These crazy kids. I don't think he hates the 3-point shot because they shot a lot of threes with the Lakers.
Did they?
I think they shot some. I don't know a lot. I don't know.
I'm sure they hit a 3 or 2.
I remember seeing Artest hit a 3 once in the playoffs. I'm going to say I don't think he hates the 3. I think he just doesn't like the over-reliance. The inside-out game where you can only shoot from like the paint or the 3-point land. Like he doesn't like all this. Like he thinks the stat stuff is taken too far.
Well, he was making anti-3-point tweets.
I was glad it was only anti-3-point. Like anytime you say he's making anti, you're hoping the thing would be a very benign thing, not something terrible.
Yeah.
Steven writes. Oh, we have another. Iman writes, if the Knicks suck, let's say, but Melo's having a great season, should Phil trade him and try to get a young player that is skilled with potential, who fit in the triangle, or first-round draft picks that can end up becoming good players in the future? So I guess the idea of the question is, if the Knicks are terrible and their best asset is Melo's having a great season, should the Knicks use him to try to get better? No. Steven writes, do we even know? Did you want to comment on that, Jay?
No, I agree with no.
Obviously they should. But Steven writes, do we know what the triangle is?
Do we know what the triangle is?
And it has 3 sides. Ollie writes, I've seen it today. The Knicks will be 3rd or 4th seed. Knicks will win 48 games, trade Melo, get 2 first-rounders, and we will contenders again. Fire Dolan. Everyone is disrespecting Melo. WTF. Fairly certain you can't fire Dolan. And if the Knicks get 48 wins, you think Melo's going to want to leave?
No.
Yeah.
I also think if the Knicks end up in the 3rd seed...
Yeah, Melo's not leaving. Melo will say, this is where am I going to go?
Yeah.
Also,
I'll have what he's having.
Okay. Steven writes, what did you guys think about the new Raps uniforms? Also, how about the new Hawks uniforms? Also, who gives a crap about either? William writes, I didn't even know the Raptors had new uniforms.
I did, but I saw the word Drake and immediately moved on. Anything to do with Drake, I want nothing to do with.
Well, now I want to look. I know you love Drake. Raptors. Why don't they just call themselves the Toronto Drakes?
Some people do call them that.
Like just a big picture of Drake.
Yeah, their new logo is just Drake's face on their jersey.
It's actually Drake's ass. Where's the damn picture? Oh, here it is. Okay, they never look that different.
Nope, they're just slightly different, so people who collect jerseys buy them.
Like it should be really like they should have Kyle Lowry come out there in like a pink tutu and go, "Here's what we're playing in this season. This is the Drakes. This is the Raptors." Or they're actually dressed like Raptors this year. They're in a giant Raptor costume. Well, isn't it going to be quite kind of hot in there? Yeah, but this will make sure the players like burn a lot of calories during the game. We want to make sure we stay fit. And this will intimidate opponents. It's going to be hard to get around a big center who's wearing a giant dinosaur costume. Yeah. And I don't know, what are the Hawks? Do they have some uniform that's like, oh, it's kind of like a mediocre uniform? Because they're kind of a mediocre organization.
Yeah, probably. They should. Their jersey should have talons on them.
I mean, how often do you have to like go, we need some more money?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, these are... Well, actually, this is a great uniform. Did you see this uniform?
No, I did not.
It's a bunch of triangles. It's like they're mocking the Knicks. Google this right now.
All right, I'm on it.
It's really a bunch of triangles. This should be the Knicks uniform. That was sneaky, Hawks. You're not the Knicks. Okay, moving on while Jay Googles.
I see it. Yeah.
It does look like a bunch of triangles, doesn't it?
It is a bunch of triangles.
Yeah. What the hell? I think Phil's going to sue for copyright infringement. William writes, if Marc and Jay were offered advertisement money about $300 to promote abortion, would they take it? What does promote abortion mean? Like we find women who are like excited to have a child and we try to convince them to have an abortion instead.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand the idea of being pro-choice, or maybe being against abortion, but I've never heard of pro-abortion. Hi, ma'am. I know you guys look like a happy couple and you're going to conceive your new child, but have you ever thought about murdering the child instead?
I guess that's a.
I don't consider it more, but I'm pro-choice, but
I think that was just a pro-choice question.
Well, it just says promote abortion.
I mean,
so Jay, so if we have an advertiser who wants to promote abortion, like maybe their thing is like, there are too many people in this world. If you get pregnant, just abort. No, even if the planned pregnancy and you guys want the child, just end the pregnancy anyhow.
I mean, that would be.
Jay, we're giving you $300. You down for it?
That would be a hilarious ad.
Okay, what if the KKK offered them $1,800 per show to promote racist commercials? Would they take it?
These are weird questions. Are you guys like trying to get us sponsors?
William like knows. It also has the dollar figure, so he actually knows how much it would take.
It's like, guys, I'm trying to like get you guys some extra money, but these are the only people who are willing to bite on your small podcast.
They're like the ads are like subtle. We like here at the KKK, we want to make America like kind of the same colors as the Spurs, without the darker players. Would the backlash of the Friends and outside podcast life matter?
No, I don't think I have any friends that listen to the podcast. I have one coworker who listens to it.
I have one friend who listens to the Brink.
If they would know, they would know what we were doing.
I feel like it's a commercial. It doesn't like we don't have to share the views of our advertisers.
Exactly.
So, William, you get these ads for us, you get us the cash, and we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or would the $1,800 per show be enough to deal with it? I'm going to say $1,800 per show. I'm down.
Yeah.
William, I challenge you to come up with something that we won't promote for $1,800. Greg writes, Melo trade suggestions, realistic and unrealistic. I'm going to wait till the Knicks suck, okay? I'm going to wait till this makes any sense.
Yeah.
This is not going to make any sense, at least sometime during the trade deadline. I'm not going to talk about how we're going to trade. And here's your answer. How about high draft picks or good young players? Rosera writes, okay, being serious now, if the Knicks make the playoffs, we all have to meet up. We can have wings and bear, not beer, and chill. I'm sure there's at least 5 of us who live within the 5 boroughs, unless you guys think the paparazzi will be all over you.
We're doing a meetup this season, whether the Knicks are playoffs or not.
Yes. Either way, I will meet Jay at a bar in Manhattan or probably Manhattan.
Yeah, I think that's more central for everybody.
Easier for everyone. And I'm gonna now that I live in Long Island, I'm gonna take the railroad home. So, and who wants to go to Queens, right, Jay?
Right.
Jesse writes, who is your favorite Knicks player for the 2015-16 season? So,
do I even have to answer this?
What'd you say?
Do I even have to answer this?
Who's your favorite, Jay?
It's going to be Porzingis.
Really?
Shocker of the episode.
Porzingis? He's your zinger?
He is my zinger.
I'm a big fan of Galloway, but I don't think he's that great.
He needs to get a better shot.
I don't know if I have a favorite on this roster. Kylo Quinn. I like Kylo Quinn. Kylo Quinn. William writes, if Marc and Jay were told your 2 podcasts are taking up too much space in the podcast database, and you could only stay with one, Brink or Knicks, which one would you pick? In the podcast database, could you be more like general and like...
We are the kings of podcast, and we say you are taking up too much space.
This is a Sophie's choice for our podcast. I'm gonna stick with the Knicks one, but Jay's gonna stick with the Brink one. I guarantee.
Yeah, I think so.
Adam writes, "What do you think about Seraphin, Vujacic, and Greek Freak?" Well, Greek Freak is actually not on our roster. He's in Milwaukee, but I like him very much. Stephen writes, "What would you guys? It's Greek salad, guys." Stephen, what would you guys do if you legit found out that your significant other was cheating on you with Phil Jackson?
I was going to say that's a Brink question, and then you threw in Phil Jackson.
That's an interesting one. So my significant other my wife is doing a 70-year-old.
Huh?
How old's Phil? He's got to be 70, right?
Oh, I thought you said 7.
How old is Phil Jackson?
Late 60s.
69.
Yeah.
And so you found out, Jay, that your significant other is 69ing with Phil Jackson. You walked in on them.
Is there like a pile of money? Is this like a indecent proposal type situation?
Yes. Let's make it more fun. Phil Jackson comes to you and say, I will give you $100 if I can stick with your wife.
$100? No.
What about, Jay, 200?
Phil, you make like $12 million a year. Stop being cheap ass.
But after taxes, it's less than $12 million. How about I will give you $500 and wait, $500 for a hand job.
Wait, I get a hand job?
No, I get a hand job from your significant other.
Aren't you already 69ing her?
Well, if I'm already 69ing her, then why am I paying you?
All right, this is getting ridiculous.
Okay. Oh, by the way, if Stephen wrote, if the Knicks pick the Knicks podcast, if they pick the Knicks podcast, I'm going postal. Apparently, Stephen likes the Brink one better.
All right. Well,
Stephen, don't worry, it's not actually happening.
And
the podcast database is not rejecting one of our podcasts.
I saved a massacre today.
Anthony writes, size up the team man for man as it stands now. I would love and get Stats Guy. Stats Guy, where are you? Call him right now.
Oh, where are we supposed to invite a new stat? It's a good thing we didn't invite new Stats Guy because he would have heard us do technical difficulties for an hour and then curse.
I believe there are 2 new Stats Guys that want to do the show. We have been lax about getting you on the show because we're lax about everything, but Jay will reach out to you if he doesn't just reach back out to us. We'll definitely have you on soon.
Yeah, the problem is we want to get the technical difficulties with the live show fixed before we add another thing that may go wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, so size of the team. Well, we said I think this is going to be around a 44 win team, 45 win team.
Size of the team?
Size up.
Size up.
No, they wanted to know more of a size thing. Like, I don't know.
The East is big, man.
We got really big. It's like we went all Woodson. The team is I don't know. It's really hard to say how this team's going to play out. I'm kind of worried about all our size and our lack of guards.
That may be a problem.
It's also such an up in the air crapshoot with these players. We'll have a much better idea come training camp. But if I had to say, so let's go through the roster real quick. Can you just say to me, they're going to play worse than expected, better than expected, or as expected?
Okay.
So Aflalo, what are you going to get from him?
Better.
Okay. Amundsen, whatever.
Can I say as?
Yeah, same.
As expected.
Okay. Greek salad.
Worse.
Mellow.
As expected.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers I think will be good, but I agree with that. Calderon.
Worse.
Gotta say worse there. Cleanthony early.
Worse.
You don't think he's going to step up at all this year?
No, I think he's going to be a train wreck.
I mean, this is the first one I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say a little bit better.
I think we're going to hate him very early into the season.
I don't think he's going to play enough if they really hate him if he's bad. Galloway.
As expected.
I'm going to say better. Grant.
Better.
Yeah. Lopez.
Better.
Kylo Quinn.
Better.
Zingis. Poor Zingis.
Bestest? How are people expecting him to play?
Just whatever you think people are thinking.
I'm going to say better.
Yeah, I mean, I think the expectations are he's not going to contribute as much this year.
Yeah.
So. Seraphin.
Better.
I'm going to say with him, probably worse. I think the signing goes nowhere. No. Lance Thomas.
Much worse.
Vujacic.
Way worse.
I don't really know. I mean, it could be as expected because you can't expect much from him at all.
I'm expecting him to be terrible, and I think he's going to be worse than that.
Sadly, ESPN lists Travis Ware on the roster, he's not on the roster. ESPN. He didn't get invited. We'll never guard LeBron. Derek Williams.
Better, just because I think he has no expectations.
I gotta say, I like the signing. But I'd be really shocked if it works out. So I'm gonna say worse. Rosario writes, and if we did the team last year, we'd probably have the same optimistic. It's hard to go in the year and go, these guys are gonna suck.
People say we're too negative. That was a pretty positive.
Well, we're always positive at this point in the year before the season starts, and then we start getting negative real fast.
Like game 2.
Yeah. Rosario writes, and listening to HD quality music like in iTunes or Spotify makes it even better than the MP3 LimeWire torrent downloads. Mark, how has your iPhone served you? Oh, hang on. I'll read I have the order here. Sorry.
Yeah, I was I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Rosario writes, last comment, Jay, you recently said on Brink you got the Audio Tech MTH M50. Welcome to the world of audiophile. Mm-hmm. Be careful. It gets worse and worse in terms of you wanting the best audio quality. The best headphones out right now are the Sennheiser HD 8. Believe me, as I have 2 pair of MTH M50. The 8, could you just text me this message?
I almost got those Sennheisers.
Better like you there. And listening to HD quality music like iTunes or Spotify makes it even better than MP3 LimeWire torrent downloads.
I almost got those Sennheisers. I had it down to that in the one I got.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And Mark, how has your iPhone served you? I have to say, having held out this long, I actually love the iPhone. I don't know. I have not that I could live without it, but I am pretty in love with my little iPhone now.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, you have the iPhone, or what do you have?
No, I have an Android.
Oh, are you in love with your Android?
I like it, but I don't like it.
I'm likesy here. I would ask this that iPad. I would ask my iPhone to be a prom. Harry writes, "World star!" exclamations.
Okay.
Rosera writes, "You guys really need to change. You guys really need to change your white boy theme song for the show. It's 2015. Your audience is very diverse and mostly 15 to 40. Put some gangsta stuff on Crushing It in My 64 or some West Coast gangsta stuff. Some one-stop being white boy hipsters from Brooklyn." So, Rosero, what about our show makes you think either of us could pick out some rap?
There's that. There's also, if you notice, that all my songs say New York or the Knicks in them. So if you know some...
There's a Jay-Z song about New York that you can put in there.
I am not putting... I do have... Don't I have that in there?
No, I don't think you have that in there.
Pretty sure I do.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, okay. If you know some gangster rap that would actually be fitting for a Knicks intro, I'm willing to do that. So throw out
get some gangster rap with the word New York, and Jay will rewrite. We'll make it a little different.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool if you did a lot of work to update the theme song.
Yeah, I'll just quit my job and I'll work on this theme song.
Rosera writes, #We the North, #Winter is coming, #Starks will rise. Rosera writes, guys, I mean wings and bear. Okay, no Netflix and chill, no homo stuff there.
Are you saying beer or bear?
I'm reading what he wrote. He wrote the word bear both times. He did not write the word beer once.
So
beer has double E's. This is BAEAR. I'm positive. I said it before. I think he wants to hang with a grizzly.
So maybe he just wants to eat bears because that's pretty hardcore.
That's hard. Rosero. Okay, Knicks meetup will be. We will be in the woods. Bring your shotgun. We will get a bear and eat it. Rosero writes, and I don't even know how to use the word no homo. I don't understand how it's used properly. I understand that people use that phrase. I don't know how it's used properly though.
I don't either.
Rosero writes, Mark, I would like it if you could call me every time you have intercourse with your wife. That would be cool. Rosero, send me your number and I'll call you. I'll text you every time. Rosero writes, Fire Fisher hire Tom Thibodeau. Rosero is a genius. I don't understand. Did Thibodeau take a job yet or not?
I don't think so.
No, he's taking this year off, I heard, right?
Yeah.
How do you not hire him?
They're committed to Fisher because he knows the triangle. Thibodeau doesn't know the triangle. So
we'd hire Thibodeau, but then we'd have to change the nameplate on his office. Rosero, I love the idea. He's gonna work player. He's gonna grind Melo down to the ground. I mean, Melo will be playing 45 minutes a night and he can only handle 44 minutes in our system. Rosero writes, how many questions are from Rosero today? He writes, guys, seriously, 26 questions per episode, per person, please. Let's be considerate. Rosero writes,
it's funny because every episode we have one person that completely takes over the questions.
Spotify is the best app known to man. Who cares? Rosero writes, there's a student discount on iTunes. Jay, how is HBO going 30 days free and Showtime is for iOS users only? Jay, so I guess maybe Rosero. Someone messaged you can get HBO for free for 30 days. Have you gotten the HBO for free for 30 days yet?
Not yet. I was out of town.
Are you going to crash? Are you going to watch lots of Game of Thrones soon?
I will binge watch Game of Thrones when I get HBO for free, yes.
Rosero writes, I am Mexican and voting for Trump 2016. Great. Rosero writes, Trump for president! Exclamation point. Great.
These seem like Brink comments, not...
I have to say, this is not a Brink episode. I watched the Republican debate. It's amazing with Trump.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. So The Brink of Sanity is our comedy podcast, and that's the kind of stuff we talk about there. brinkofsanityshow.com.
We have a lot of questions to go. Harry writes, what an effing idiot is saying trade Mello for love. Like, you stupid... What else? Why I said this here. You stupid ass people or a pick. Unless the pick is in the top 7... No, hell no. Only casual fans say that, not a diehard Knicks fan who watches all the games. People, not Melo. It's kind of, but all. It's the pieces around him. Grr, thy job took my job. Harry writes, why I have a strange feeling Derek Fisher we be the problem this season. The lack of coaching experience will be seen this season. Harry writes, is me, Jay, and Mark the only ones who want Mike Woodson to get rehired?
No, because neither of us want Mike Woodson to get retired.
Only for the purposes of him being on the actual Knicks podcast.
Yeah, I mean, fake Mike Woodson could get rehired for our podcast, but real Mike Woodson I want nowhere near the Knicks.
Maybe we should have fake Mike Woodson on soon.
Yeah, I think so.
Harry writes, based on what Phil has gone, what grade would you give him? Guys, has he done a so what's a grade can you give him for I guess just I'm gonna say just the off season, but it's overall, I mean, it's all the same thing, really.
So far I give him a B.
Yeah,
I did not like the Tyson Chandler trade. I do like how he seems to get more smart players or players with potential. He got rid of a lot of our crappy contracts, so he did a lot of good things. But he also did one or two questionable things. So
I give him a B. The Chandler trade wasn't a good trade, but it wasn't horrendous. I would say the big issue I have right now is the roster looks shaky at the guard position.
Yeah.
Everything else, I kind of like what he's done. I mean, you never know if it's going to work out, but he's made the right move. He's made the process seems okay. It seems like you're trying to build a team. This seems like he's doing the right things.
Well, we were in cap hell, and the only way to make an impact when you're in cap hell is to try and take some chances. He took chances, and it may or may not work out, but that was his only option.
Harry also writes, when is the first NBA game for this season? Harry, you'll have to go. You'll have to pay for your ESPN Insider article to get that.
They didn't announce it yet.
No trade Melo, like him or not. We have a guy who can shoot 24 in his sleep. Okay. I mean, we need score. Trading Melo prior to this team being really bad makes no sense.
Right.
Greg writes, were you guys too young to watch the Rockets Knicks finals? I mean, do you remember watching that series?
Yes.
Yes.
We are old and we are bitter. That's what started off our bitterness. That was Starks 2 for 18, right?
Ollie writes, Mark, you the real MVP. Yeah, Ollie.
You're getting a lot of love this episode.
I am. Where's Jay's love? Ollie writes, Markieff Morris, should we trade for him? He was a beast in Phoenix, and they did him and his brother dirty, sent his brother to Detroit. Again, I just don't know what we're trading for him. William writes, do you guys consider yourself ahead of your time ahead of your time in terms of podcasts? What people are doing now with podcasts, Jay has been doing for the last 6 years. Do you think that is the reason these podcasts have been total fails? If not, what is the reason? Don't give me the marketing crap.
Our podcast is a total fail?
I don't. He asked if we're ahead of our time.
No, I don't think we were ahead of our time on podcasts. I did start Brink, like 7.5 years ago?
I don't know.
Yeah, you weren't on the show then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started about 7.5 years ago. There was still podcasting around. I mean, I think I was ahead of my time on the video stuff I did, but
I'm pretty sure if we can go back in time, we'd be ahead of our times in like the 1950s. Because people would be like, how do you even do this? This is amazing.
I think our downloads would suck because nobody would have the internet.
God, can't you guys download on iTunes? What's iTunes? It's on the internet. What's the internet? God, what? Computer? Who has a computer? Who can afford a computer?
Guys, I think this was a bad idea.
Maybe we should go back in time to maybe 10 years ago. William writes, will Mark be going to see the Straight Outta Compton movie, or is he scared since he is white and does not want to be around black people?
How come you only get these questions?
I don't know why people think I hate black people, but I would. That's one of the very few movies I actually want to see this year.
I just find it funny that you get all the white guilt questions. Are you still there? Or did you disconnect again? All right, we're back. Technical difficulties again.
Technically, I'll never have internet that works. Anyhow, I'm down for seeing Straight Outta Compton. William, let me know when you go. I'll meet you at the theater. Do you want to see that movie, Jay?
Not really.
If it gets good reviews, I'll be down for that. I saw the 50 Cent movie, which wasn't very good.
I would never see that.
I'm never going to see any of these movies in the theater, though. So,
wait, the 50 Cent movie?
You remember the 50 Cent movie?
No, for some reason I was thinking Green Mile when you said that. I did not.
Terrible. There's no way NWA or the 50 Cent movie are as bad as Green Mile. That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I can't believe you saw that.
The Green Mile?
8 Mile.
Oh, 8 Mile. I thought you said the Green Mile.
Probably did. I am delirious right now.
Oh, I love 8 Mile. I think that's a great movie.
Green Mile was a terrible movie.
Okay, well, let's move on to basketball stuff. William writes, are there people who are actually Raptors fans? Really, bro. Greg writes, would you rather be Patrick Ewing or Robert Horry?
Horry.
Ewing. Horry, I mean, obviously won the titles, but it's not like he was the reason they won the titles. Ewing was a star player. Horry was never a star player.
Ewing.
Fine. Craig writes, fine, you will be Patrick Ewing for one day, and you will not get to be a professional coach ever. Only assistant, Jay.
Joke's on you. It's finger roll day.
Greg writes, if we can fire Fisher, who would your dream coach replacement be?
Greg Popovich.
Yeah, I was going to say Thibodeau, but I guess Greg Popovich. Greg also writes, still no luck on having a Knicks player guest on your show. I'll try harder. Launching Twitter. Greg, get on that.
Thank you, Greg. I've been looking at our Twitter feed, and he is messaging like literally everybody.
He also asked us, who would you like to interview if you guys have a chance? Anyone in the NBA.
Or anybody who was in the NBA.
Anyone employed by the NBA. Anyone that's been to an NBA game. Even the WNBA players. Why not? We'll branch out. If there's a European league, let's get that player on. Anyone that's ever played basketball in their life.
Yeah.
Greg writes, how did you become Knicks fans? Is it because you live in New York? Probably.
Yeah, I would say so.
Greg writes, how come basketball players have bigger contracts than? How come baseball players have bigger contracts than basketball players? Or is this supposed to be for the Brink question?
I don't know. Why is that?
Well, baseball plays 162 games.
Yeah, but the players only play like a half of each game.
No. But the reason is, what do you mean half of each game?
Well, I mean, if you're like, if like when you're playing baseball, you only hit like 1 out of every 9 times.
Okay, so here's the reason. The Major League Baseball produces twice the amount of content the NBA produces. So Major League Baseball makes more money than the NBA does. And since they do that, they can pay the players more money.
There you go.
There's the answer.
And if you're a pitcher, you only pitch like once out of every 5 games.
Oh, fine. Baseball sucks. Greg writes, can we sign Marvin the Martian already? Mark, who will win? Marvin or Pepe Le Pew? Well, we all know the answer to this question. Pepe Le Pew would not be allowed on the court because of rape charges. Greg writes, top 5 current favorite players. I don't care. Greg writes,
Wow.
do you want to answer your top 5 current favorite players? I love you, Greg, but I'm just not answering that question.
Wow. All right.
Am I like crazy to say that?
No, I just think I've never heard you want the show to end more.
We have a lot of questions. We've gone on for a while. This is a post of players making less money than Enes Kanter, who's making $16.4 million, and Stephen Curry, Gordon Hayward, John Wall, Danny Green, DeMarcus Cousins. A lot of players make less than him that are good. Greg writes, is Christian Laettner a bust in your book? Why do fans hate him?
I barely remember him playing. I know people hated him, but I don't remember why.
Play for Duke. I feel like people that play for Duke are always very hateable.
A lot.
Well, then again, actually, that's not true because no one's like hating Okafor for that reason.
Yet.
I don't know why he was a very hateable player, but I don't think he was a. I thought he was a good player, not great player.
Yeah, I think he was overhyped. Whenever you're overhyped, people get on the hate train pretty quick.
I mean, look at his career numbers. I mean, I didn't realize in his rookie year he averaged 18 a game. That was a while ago, obviously. I mean, he had some decent numbers for a while on bad teams, really.
Yeah, I think he was really, really hyped, and
he was a guy that was a star on a very cocky Duke team, and so people kind of hated him in college, and that carried over because he never was going to be that amazing in the pros.
Yeah.
Greg writes, surprised no one has signed JR yet.
A little bit. I find
Isn't it kind of like wonderful?
Yeah, I mean, people finally learned after 11 years of his bullshit.
I still think he's just going to sign with Cleveland.
I think so too, but they're really making him sweat.
Wait a second. J.R. Smith. I googled J.R. Smith to see what's going on.
I know Philly's interested.
Yeah. So the headline is J.R. Smith dumps his ex Ashley and married this woman days later.
What?
The website's called Bossip. So I don't know if this is even real.
The thing with JR stories is you will never know if it's real or not. It could be so goddamn crazy, and it could still be real.
Well, it's called Bossip. It can't be real. It can't be a real site.
Yeah, maybe that's a satirical site.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything else. A rumor about him getting married this weekend, so I want to assume that maybe it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I'm shocked that he doesn't have a home.
I would like to see him in Philly. Just him jacking up 50 shots a game would be hilarious.
I mean, the fact that if he's on any team besides Cleveland, it's really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think LeBron just talked him out of doing it, saying he'll be on the team?
No, I honestly think he thought he was going to get a long-term contract for a lot more than he was making. I think somebody told him he's been playing for a discount for a while, and it's time for him to get paid.
And that was LeBron. It was definitely LeBron. And everyone's like, LeBron, you're a goddamn genius. The Lakers are very interested. This is from Greg also. The Lakers are very interested in trading for Jose Calderon, but who do you think they would send back to the Knicks? And I think it's Nick Young, who they're saying. Nick Young for Calderon. Would you do it?
How many years left does Nick Young have? Because I don't like Nick Young, so I wouldn't want to take on any more than 1 year.
Oh, he can score.
He can score, and that's pretty much it. And
How many more years does
Calderon is this year and next year?
Holy crap! Really?
Yeah. See, the thing is, we just cleared our team out of head cases. I don't want to start collecting more.
You think Nick Young's a head case?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. I was kidding.
Okay.
Let me find the salary thing.
I think Nick Young might be at the end of his contract. No, he just signed a long contract, didn't he?
Could be.
Stats guy.
I don't know. I'm doing this really slow. I have to do. Stats guy, where the hell are you? Stats guy, you're fired. It looks like he has to be off his contract. So we have Nick Young. No, he's two more. He's up through 2017-18, but so this year and next year, and then the third year, it's player option.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes, and no.
Yeah, that's rough.
The thing is, Lakers have nothing to give either.
Yeah, well, I would take you're not going to get Randall or anything like that. You're not going to get any players you actually want.
Right.
What about Roy Hibbert? You trade for Roy Hibbert?
Yeah, he's expiring.
Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah, definitely.
That I do.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that, though.
No.
Nick Young? What about Nick Young? Okay, and that is the end. I think that's the end of our questions. There was a LOL from Rosero, but I think that's the end of our questions. So what did we learn today, Jay?
We learned that yet again we can go well over an hour with nothing happening.
There's nothing to talk about. Yeah, we went well over an hour. What do you think Nick Young's stats, his per 36, per 82, per 20 are?
Per 36, I think he averages 15. Per 82 is all-star level, and per 20 is Hall of Fame.
It's amazing how many guys based on this new stat go to the Hall of Fame.
It is. It really is.
But he's averaging his per 36 is 20 a game. Maybe the Knicks should sign him. They should trade for him.
Per 36 is such a stupid stat.
Oh my gosh, it's a dumb stat. It really is one of the dumber stats. That's why, but it's not. That's why it's not like genius. Like my per 36, per 82, per 20.
I hate per 36. I think it's the dumbest thing.
It's a way to compare guys. Well, why per 36? Why just per 12?
Cole Aldridge had like 40 rebounds per 36 last season.
And he's in the Hall of Fame. See, case dismissed. Case closed. Jay, what did you learn today?
I learned that we really, really need like an intern or a tech guy or something because I am just struggling with this live show.
So can you just tell people what the program is so maybe someone else can learn it and explain it to you?
It is Ustream Studio Pro. So what we're trying to do is get the split screen so you can see both of our webcams and then still have the audio come through Ustream. I got the split screen, but then I couldn't. We couldn't hear the audio through Ustream. So I don't know if anybody knows what the hell they're doing. Email us nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. I will try my best to sort this all out tomorrow so that next time we record, it's ready to
go. Cool. Sounds fantastic.
I just love that like I'm our techie guy and I like have no idea what I'm doing.
I have nothing to contribute to help you out.
No, you're way worse than I am. So it's like this is the blind leading the blind when we do this stuff.
I mean, how could I be your techie guy? I just got entered the smartphone world 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty much positive I cannot help. Okay, we also learned today that I don't even know what we learned today. We learned nothing. We learned learned
that Mark really wants to end the show.
I'm tired, Jay.
I know.
Okay, we'll be back next week with a Brink episode, and the following week with the Knicks episode.
Yes.
We're still only every 2 weeks right now, right? Because it's August and nothing's going on.
Because there's literally nothing to talk about.
And next week, the next show, we won't have signings to talk about. Nothing will have happened.
Yeah, this show didn't have much. Next episode will have much less.
Yeah. So next episode, we'll be talking about. So, do you think Kylo Quinn likes Thai food? That's pretty much that's the in-depth pieces we're gonna talk about.
So
but maybe we'll get a big interview next episode with Carmelo. Who knows? Tune in. You have to find out.
So if you want to listen to our comedy podcast, it's on iTunes. You can type in Brink of Sanity, or you can check out brinkofsanityshow.com. Thank you, everybody who has listened, emailed, supported us. And we have Knicks Podcast T-shirts if you're interested.
Yes. So if you are drunk on a Friday night with your friends listening to a Knicks Podcast episode, get a T-shirt.
Yeah, and you spill Chipotle all over your shirt, and you're like, I need a new shirt. Well, there you go. You can have a brand new Knicks Podcast shirt, and that's on the website, thenewyorknickspodcast.com, and an extra $5 will get you a Brink shirt.
And an extra $1,800 will get you a racist ad on our show. Okay, we're out.
Yes, we are out. Thank you for listening, everybody. We will be back 2 weeks. You said that already.
Yeah. Well, you can hear some Brink next. Just end the show, Jack.
You guys should add some hardcore gangster rap to your goodbye song. That's next week's email. I'm calling it now.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. Time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.